Let me see what I've done so far. I've set up the database and the database user for Help Me and Bus Company X. And then I made a video about how to back up the database after I ran some SQL to update that database with some old data that I had on my Mac. Then I did a video about defining the constants in a script called config.php and includes. In this video, I'm going to talk about two more scripts I added to the includes. They define two new classes. One is called MySQLDatabase and one is called User. And there's the config that I did before. So let's take a closer look here. Just as a reminder, let's peek at config.php. It defines the database server machine, the database user, the database password, and the name of the database in MySQL. And these are defined as these variables. Well, okay, this is the name, this is the value. And we will reference this just like that without even a $sign. Okay, so the first class we made was this one, the database class, which is called MySQLDatabase. That's the class name and the name of the file with a PHP extension. Later on, I might change the name of the file to be all small letters, in order to make the auto-loading work the same for all the classes. Okay, so let's look in here. The database class, by the way, its file instantiates a database object. So that way, inside the script, there's no need to instantiate this object. Just use the DB or database variable. There's an attribute called connection, and that stores the result of the MySQLi connect function call. So we have a method for opening the connection, closing the connection, running a query, confirming a query, which confirms that the result came back to something that's valid instead of coming back as the value false. We have a function escape value, which prepares the SQL string for the database. Then we have some functions which are wrappers for the MySQLi, because we just don't like the name MySQLi because we want the functions in this class to be database neutral. So we have fetch array, num rows, insert ID, affected rows. Fetch array will give us one record from the result set. So that's MySQLDatabase. Then we have user. That's the class called user with a capital U. And the user has an ID, username, password, first name, last name, organization, and role. Then there's the find all function. There's the find by ID. By the way, this class, one of the main reasons for having this as a class is for these find methods. Because these find methods could have been placed in the database class, which is MySQLDatabase, but then that class would be cluttered with find functions for a lot of different classes, because a lot of our classes, which are going to be models, like user is a model of a person who uses the system. If we put all the find methods in the database class, we would end up with the find methods for a lot of different classes. So here, at least, our incentive for making a new class and calling it user is to put these find functions in it. However, additionally, the user class is useful because it allows us to make a user into an object with attributes. Okay. Some of these methods are static, like find all is static, find by ID is static, find by SQL is static. Then we have some methods which are specific to this class, which is full name, returns the full name of the user. We have another static function called instantiate. And we have a method called hasAttribute. So these are the methods I have so far in user.php for the user class. I'll be adding some more to it later. I don't know if I'll show it in the video or not. However, user is a class which is a model. So it models something in real life, and it takes care of the access to the database table for each user on the system.